And welcome into the Wolves Halftime Show. We're pleased to be joined in our first segment by defensive lineman LJ Lovelace. And LJ, how's everything going? Appreciate you coming by.
Good. Thank you for having me. Everything's going great.
Hey, we can't start not talking off with the big game you guys just finished up against West Texas A&M. Just kind of take us back through the 41-38 victory that had all of us at the edge of our seats throughout that whole game.
Man, that game was fun and it was exciting. The offense came in and did what they had to do that last drive. Ryan stepped up to the plate, led the offense down the field, and scored that last winning touchdown, and then defense came on the field, and that was the game.
How excited were you to finally get it home? We talked about the non-conference schedule took you guys to 3 different states. You go up to Canada. You finally get to come home after a month of being on the road. How exciting was it just to be back on MacArthur Field for the first time in almost 2 years?
Man, the stadium was electric. The crowd was great. It just felt like we was at home to me after 2 years, and then being able to play on our home turf was great.
Let's kind of go back through those first few games. How much of a challenging mindset is it? Because, it's tough when you're going out to Colorado Mines. They're nationally ranked, good opponent to start the season off. Then you go out to Kingsville. It's the third straight time we've gone out there. That's a pretty far venture. Then you get Portland State, which seemed like a home game, just down the road here. So, how was it kind of going through those and then, getting to Simon Fraser up in Canada and just kind of walking through those first 4 games of the season?
Man, it was tough. Travel is always tough for us. The plane, the bus, man, it's tiring. It tires us out. But once we got to Simon Fraser, we knew that we had to get a win, and that led us to now when we got our second win, and we're steaming through now.
How much have you learned about this team? Because, last year was definitely an unorthodox season, with COVID. You guys didn't get to play. It seemed like when we had the spring game, it was just nice to have kind of a, more normal game, having the spring game this past few months ago. So, what was it kind of like with you guys going through 2 different recruiting classes that came in? They didn't get a chance to play that first year. How nice was it to just kind of be joined with them?
It was great. Just another group to add on to our team. A lot of ball players in that young core group. And that year, we just came together and gelled as a group more.
How much do you kind of feel like on the defensive line, you kind of had some changes, since it's been a couple of years? What were kind of the things you wanted to work on to kind of make, your game more all around going into this season?
Man, I just wanted to work on my physicalness, being a dog in the trenches because, there's no rules down there. So, I just wanted to step up to the plate and be that playmaker on the defensive line that, my team needed me to be. So I just worked on my physicalness and just being tough and lean and just big in the trenches.
How much did it really help you guys? Because we've seen, Coach Ferguson always does this where he gives you a really tough non-conference schedule. We play a lot of Lone Star teams. You got a chance to play Division I Portland State. How much does it help you facing those lines? Because you're playing teams that are huge, because this West Texas offensive line was all big guys across the front. And you play other ones that are super athletic too. How much does that help you when it comes then to GNAC play?
It helps a lot. Them Texas teams are big. They're huge. They're some big boys, as well as Portland State. Like how you mentioned, they're a D1 school. So being able to play those big offensive linemen, it makes us better. It makes the whole D-line better, And then once we face those quick athletic teams, we can dominate them even more because of the offensive linemen that we faced already.
How much have you enjoyed playing on this defense? Because a lot of you guys came back, in the linebacker core, you got like Jalen, those guys back. Most of the secondary's back. How much do you kind of lean on each other, to make sure you got, the 3 levels are real strong in each game and, work together to, continue to be the strong defense you guys have been throughout the season?
Yeah. I feel like we trust in one another. Jalen's going to trust that the defensive line does their job, and the defensive line trusts that Jalen's going to do his job, and it goes all the way back through the corners and then to the safeties like, Joey Sinclair and Curtis Anderson. So our mentality is just fly around and do your job. That's about it.
One thing I think helps you guys too, and we were talking about this before, when you see that you got to see each other, the offense a lot. You guys played a lot of scrimmages against each other. How much did it help going against those guys? If we'd mentioned, Omari and Andrew in the backfield, those guys have a lot of versatility, going against Ryan and our own offensive line. How much did it kind of help going against those guys, we're at a high level to help you guys for the season?
Going up against our offense always helps us, Our offensive line are some big dudes as well, and our team loves to run the ball, and Omari Land is one hard runner. So that's what we need for our defense, and it prepares us for those Lone Star teams and those D1 teams.
How excited are you too? Because we're at halftime here of the Central Washington game. How much more do you get excited? Because when it comes to Central Washington, they're always crazy games, whether they play here or there.
Yeah.
Usually going in, especially now with the way the conference has been,
Yeah.
it's usually Central Washington and Western Oregon are battling for the top spot. So how excited do you get when the Wildcats come to town?
It's a different type of week, practice week, with us when we play Central. We want to come out and play the game on Monday. Like, we're ready on Monday. So the excitement, the energy is all there throughout the whole week. And then on Saturday, we're just going to let that out.
All right, LJ. Well, we really appreciate you stopping by. Great to get some insights from you. Best of luck the rest of the season, and we look forward to talking with you more here soon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And welcome back into the Wolves Halftime Show. We move into our next segment. We're joined here by quarterback Ryan Worthley. And Ryan, we appreciate you coming by and joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's start off with the top here. You guys made it suspenseful once again. It'd been 2 years, and it felt like you've been waiting 2 years. We go 41-38 against West Texas A&M. Just kind of recap what you saw in that game overall.
Yeah, no, it was a great game. It was nice playing in front of our home fans. I think collectively that was our best win, and hopefully we can keep it rolling into Central Week.
How much different is it being able to play at home? Because you guys definitely ran the gauntlet to start the season. You're over in Colorado, you're over in Texas, you're up into Canada, you're playing a home game basically against Portland State because they're just down the road. What was it like to finally then be home for this week to be able to play?
So nice. Just traveling honestly just takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your mental. So it's more relaxing just being at home, playing in front of the fans, not having to deal with the whole travel and all the COVID restrictions that come with it.
Let's go back to that last drive because it was definitely a winning drive to remember. We're back on 4th and 9, quarterback at our own 12. You guys have to go for it. Just kind of walk through that play, when you checked it down to Andrew, and then eventually, finishing that drive off with Andrew running for the score.
Yeah. I knew we had to push the ball downfield. Obviously, the defense knew that too, and we had a dig that I was trying to find coming across the middle, but they took that away. And they forgot about Andrew, so I just heard him calling, hey, here, and I just dumped it off to him, and he was able to get the first down.
And we talked about, too, how nice is to have the skill set of these players we have. The receivers are all very talented. You've got the two backs. Our offensive line did a really good job this game. How nice is it when kind of all that's clicking for you guys?
Oh, it's super nice. All year we've known we've had talent across the offense. At times we haven't been able to show it. But it's nice that it all came together. Our running backs played really well. Our receivers got open, caught the ball, and our O-line was huge. So it's nice. It's starting to all come together.
When did you feel for you, because, moving into being the main quarterback this year, when did you feel you started to get comfortable? Because, you had a variety of teams you faced to start off the year. When did you kind of feel that it was kind of coming together for you back there?
Yeah, it started to feel more comfortable in the Texas A&M Kingsville week. The first week against Colorado School of Mines, they brought a lot of crazy pressures at us, and that was my first start. So it was kind of an eye-opening experience for me and for, I think, a lot of the young guys up front. But since then, we've been able to establish a strong run game, and our pass protection's gotten a lot better. So it's definitely made me a lot more comfortable.
I'm going to say, kind of piggybacking off of that, how much has it helped playing those teams, like School of Mines, Kingsville, West Texas, and Portland State, some of those teams? How much does that help better prepare you for when you get into the GNAC play?
It prepares us super well. Obviously, Portland State's a Division I school, so they got really good athletes. Both the two Texas schools, Texas football is huge, and they always have big guys and fast guys on the back end. And then Colorado School of Mines I think they're number 5 in the nation right now. And they are just a strong, fundamental team, and they really rarely make mistakes. So going against that kind of competition has really just set us up nicely for GNAC play.
When we look kind of, too, on the coaching staff, how much does it kind of help having, Ty Curry, who led us the previous season? How much, does it nice kind of having him there if you need to ask questions, about the QB spot?
Oh, it's super nice. Especially earlier in the year, he helped me a lot just kind of settling down and kind of letting me know what to expect. I know Trey, my quarterback coach, gets me ready for all of the defenses and exotic looks that we're about to see, but having a guy like Ty that he just played. It's nice just having that kind of perspective as well.
And how excited are you too? Because we're here at halftime of the Central Washington game. What is it like the build-up when you're getting to play the Wildcats? Whether it's here or in Ellensburg, that always seems to be the game of the season. So how excited do you get to play those guys?
Yep, this is the game that we have circled on our calendars. Like Central Washington's a rival. No matter how the season's going for either of us, this game's always it's always a good test. We're always going to bring it, and we know Central Washington is too. So it's exciting. I'm excited to get going.
Looking back too, what were kind of the main things you wanted to work on? Because obviously, when we hadn't played since 2019, it's crazy to think it'd been almost 2 years. What were kind of the main things you tried to focus on, to get ready for when we got back out there on the field?
Main thing for me was just learning more about defenses and how it all kind of fits like a puzzle. When, especially when in the secondary, when they start doing all these crazy different things, it all fits like a puzzle, and so you can kind of start predicting. Even if one guy rolls down, you know where everybody else is going to be on the back end. So that was a big learning curve for me over COVID. Just watching film with Trey and understanding. We watched a lot of NFL film, and so that was really helpful. And then also just working on running. I knew my strong suit was throwing the ball, but I wanted to still be mobile and able to work the pocket and get a first down when I need to.
All right, thanks, Ryan. We appreciate you swinging by and joining us and giving us all the insights. We look forward to watching the rest of the season and checking out how the Wolves do. Appreciate you coming by.
Sweet, thank you. I appreciate it.